June 28, 1914 dawned as a new era. Global modernization, global expansion, and global war. World War I, or the Great War as it was called, began with the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. He was shot and killed by Serbian nationalists during his visit to their country. However, there were a few different indirect causes that gave the overall impact to the start of the war. One factor was imperialism. During the end of the 19th century to the early 20th century, the world saw a massive scramble for colonies and territories abroad. The imperialists were mainly from Europe, but also included the quickly rising power of the United States. These countries dominated the globe with their colonies, provinces, and territories. During this time, the European countries gained a lot of profit from their conquests. In the end, Europe had a large and stable economy and had a good trade going with the other powers. However, the countries within Europe did not entirely trust each other. Soon, economic sidelines were drawn. Austria-Hungary became a friend of Germany, while Britain and France became allies. After the murder of the Archduke, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. As alliances had already been formed, events progressed quickly from there. Germany came forward and declared war on Britain and France, while Britain, France, and Russia formed an alliance against Germany. The former became known as the Central Powers, while the latter the Allied Powers. Germany launched an invasion of France via Belgium, turning this neutral country into an allied one. The next 4 years of the war saw action mainly in trenches. These trenches were essentially dug into the ground with very little space to move around in. Quite apart from the ever-present danger, trenches were also ridden with many diseases. Overall, it was not an ideal way to fight or defend. Despite the bad conditions, however, World War I saw a great rise in weapons and technology. Planes were used for the first time in this war, or at least for fighting purposes. Also, the British developed the first tanks. This was a turning point, as tanks could shoot heavy missiles and sustain large amounts of damage. There were chemical weapons, which included poison gas that was used extensively by the German army. However, one of the deadliest inventions was the machine gun. The machine gun was actually first built as a Gatling gun by a man named Richard Gatling during the Civil War. The machine gun could mow down dozens of people in a short span of time, thus making it a dangerous weapon. The United States was actually involved in the last 2 years of the war, but it did not play as large a role as in the next one. There were two reasons for its intervention. On May 7, 1915, a German submarine torpedoed the HMS Lusitania, a passenger ship bound from New York to Liverpool, England. This explosion and the sinking of the ship resulted in more than 100 deaths. Another reason was due to a telegram sent by Germany to Mexico. Intercepted by the British, the telegram told Mexico to attack the US. The United States was angered by this and soon called for war on Germany. The fighting continued until November 11, 1918, with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles. After the war, many new developments emerged. New countries and alliances were formed, empires were dissolved or overrun, economies were growing or rebuilding, new technology was made, even women gained a higher status. However, World War I was one of the major causes of the next, and much more devastating, conflict. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, I would really appreciate it. If you have any feedback for me or suggestions for the next video, leave them in the comment section below. And lastly, you can always subscribe. Thanks for watching.